So what is Java? So basically, like we already know, right? So it is a popular, Java is a popular programming language, and it is created by James Gosling in the year of 1995, and it is owned by Oracle. Okay, so we use this Java, right, to development of mobile application and desktop application, web server, like game application also we use Java, like and yeah, and sometimes database connectivity we use also. Okay, so and why we use Java, right? So first, what is Java? So and it is owned by Oracle also. Okay. So basically, it is where we use this Java, right? We use this Java for development of mobile application, development of desktop application, and web application also. Development of mobile application, desktop application, web application, and it is need for DB. Okay. Why we use Java? So basically, Java works in different platform, which is platform independent, right? Windows, Mac, Linux, Raspberry Pi, anywhere we can use. So and it has a large demand in current job, like in current job market, right? So Java is very old language, right? After and it is in high demand in job market, and you can say it is easy to learn and simple to use also, and it is open source and free. So it is secure, fast and powerful also, and it has a huge community support, right? So we say say And we can say like Java is an object-oriented programming language, right? Which gives a clear structure of programs and allows code to reuse. Okay. So reuse like lowering the development cost also. Okay. So while Java is used, like we say it is used for development of mobile application, desktop application, and web application also. And why we use Java? So it is also platform independent, easy to learn, and simple to use. So and it has huge community support and open source. And it Java basically it is an object-oriented language, so it based on structured programming and allow us to reuse its code, and it like lower the budget of the development and all. Okay. Now come to the basic thing. Okay. So in Java, there's some basic thing, okay, basic syntax that whenever we use this Java, like when we are create a Java application, like these things are already needed. Okay, we cannot ignore this thing. Say Java, okay, okay. So you will see like in every program, right? So when we create some like Java class, right? So it create a file. So that Java class file, whatever the file name, that same name should be the class name. Okay. Like as you can see, right? So whenever I create a class variable dot Java, this is a file name, right? And inside this file, we have class name variable. We cannot change this name. Okay. So if I give variable one, it will generate an error. So class name and file name should be same. And next what we have? We have the main method. Okay, the main method. So so main method, right? So you will see right in every Java program there is a main method and it is required. Okay. So if we want to execute anything, right, any code or any like snippet, we should give those code inside the main method. If we give those outside the main method, it will not execute the program. Okay. In other hand, you can say like any code inside the main method will be executed. Okay. So yes, hello. Anyone saying anything? Okay. So the main method, it looks like something like this. Okay. Public static void. What is like types? What kind of like return type you want? If you want any data type, you can void main. So this is the main method, and inside main there's some syntax string args. So this main method having some parameter which is string args. Okay. So this is the main method which is required in every Java program. Okay. Otherwise, your program cannot be executed, the whatever the code or logic. Say, okay. So let's say I have this variable, right? If we just remove like this is the main method, okay? Public static void main. If we declare something right outside the main method, anything, it will say string a equals to anything. Okay. It will like you can declare a variable outside the main method, but if you want to print, it will not print. Okay, you cannot like print this thing. Okay, and so now let's try to print, right? So what is the print function, right? So there is also like a function like that you say, right, print function or output function, right? So if we want to generate any output in console, so for that there is a statement, right? System dot out dot println, and this method will not detecting. Okay, basically it is not finding this method. Okay, so it is because like we don't give the main method, and this system dot out dot println must be inside the main method. Okay, say print a dot, and now if I give this inside here, detect. Now here inside main method, now it is detecting my statement. Now it is a output statement. And now it will saying like A cannot find, right? Because why? We are giving this thing, right? We are declaring our variable outside the main. method. That is, say, we just make this inside the main method. Okay. Now it's good. Now here it is saying it is unused. Here the underline, if you see, this is not used, this variable. Now if we give this inside the print statement, so it is now in use. Now if I run the program, right, it should give me high out. So this is the printing statement. Okay. Like output, right? So we are seeing the output. So this is called Java output. So output in Java, basically like output, like what is output? Like basically whatever we can display, right? That output in console. Like in Java, we can display output in console using the system.out.println. Not println, there are a lot of similar method like print, println, like and there's other thing also print. Okay. So if you see, right, print A, and if you search for print, there are a lot of print you can find. Okay, lot of print function. And what is the difference between print and println? Nothing but like print, this print method, it will print in a same line, but println method, it will print in a next line. Okay. Okay. So like this is one thing, one way, like if we want to like formatting our output, right? So you will see some method named printf. So basically it allows for formatted output using the placeholder and format specifier. Okay. Let's say uh, say outputting a string value, right? If we want to output a string value, for that we can do it. So if I copy the thing and try to uh, paste it over here, uh, this will print this string. Okay, normal this string it will print. Okay. So because it is printing in same line, because we use this print method, if I give this ln over here, it will simply do the print in next line. The next print, right? The next output it will print in next. Okay. And so next, say variables, say Java variables. So basically in Java variables, we will see right how we declare variables, and after that there will be some data types, that is some inbuilt data type. Okay. First of all, what is Java variables actually? So basically variables are containers that storing data value. Okay, you can say. So in Java, there are different types of variables. For example, you can say like string variable, like variable like string. Okay, the which stores text such as hello or hi world, like string value, right? That are like surrounded by double quote, and integer, float, character, boolean. These are the types. Okay, like data types, different types of variable, you can say. Like variable we are declaring, right? So like what is the type of that variable we are discussing? Okay, so you can say it one, like first we will see like how we declare the variable, like declaration of variable. Okay, variable declaration. Okay. So this is the one way you can declare. There's another way you can declare. Okay. So like data type, variable name, and you can declare in first line, you just declare the variable, and in second line you can just store the value to that variable. Okay, like assigning the value to the variable. Okay. So variable name, and you are assigning the value. So let's see how this actually looks like. Okay. So now if you see, okay, so here what we have, we s- here we declare some variable. So if you see, this is a data type. Okay, this is a data type. What data type this variable is storing, right? So this a variable is storing string data type, right? So first come data type, then variable. Okay, so this is the one way you can declare the variable. And there's another way, say int b. First, you just give the variable, and in next line, you just give the value, right? Fine. So it will do the same thing. Okay, but in two line. Right. If I want to print the B, I can do. Okay, so say B. And so these are the two ways you can declare the variable and assigning the value. So now next we will see what are the data type we have. Okay. Like Java have already inbuilt data types. Okay. So some common data types we basically use most of the time, like integer, double, boolean, and character string. These are the data type we use frequently. So basically like data type, right? What is data type? So data type, like in Java, right? Java is basically a statistically typed language. Okay, so meaning variable must have a specific data type. Okay, like and we already know some common data type that are used in Java, which is int, character string, double boolean. Okay, okay, let's say we have int, which is integer. So basically, integer is a like int is a integer. You already know, right? So it store a whole number. Okay, and double, what double will do? So this data type actually it is a floating point number, right? So it is used for decimal number and yeah, decimal, float and float and double. There is two data type and double is like it can store larger than float. Okay, the range of the uh, data, right? Whatever the range. So everything having its range. Integer having some range, like integer can hold some kind of range. Okay, like a 10 digit or like 16, like not 16, like 10 to 12 digit it can store. Same way like double, it can store some certain digit. Okay, after decimal it can print some certain digit. And as well as float, it is like lower than double. It can like uh, it can give like whatever double, whatever like after decimal double is printing something like 10 like 10 digit or uh, 10 or 17 digit, whereas like in uh, float, it can print up to like 7 digit or 9 digit after this. Okay. So Boolean, what is Boolean? So basically Boolean is like, it is basically the output of this thing, right? It is only in true and false. Okay, Boolean. So Boolean, like it basically like store the value with two state. Like you can say like it store the value in state. Okay, which is like true and false. Say integer, like say integer. It will like integer, which will store the whole number. Okay, and say double. Yeah, and Boolean basically store value with two state. Okay. Say true or false. Okay. Character basically stores single character, such as within single code A or single code we just declare B. Okay. Okay. In single code you can say A or so character value basically the surrounded with single quote. Okay. So you can say the and string is non-primitive data type. So string basically store text. Okay, it string basically store text like such as like within double quote whatever the sentence we want to say we can. Okay, so let's say Mama. Yes. And next what we have. So next we have something like if I come to here, right? Suppose say I have this string A, right? This variable A variable and B, right? If I give this thing, right, some this keyword, something like keyword like final. So this is the keyword, right? If I give here, so what is this final? Okay, basically this final keyword is a constant keyword. Okay, so this final keyword, what makes this variable constant? Like a having this high all, right? If I want to update, hello, power Kushana, please mute yourself. Noise coming. Okay, so this final keyword, right? So this final keyword is basically a constant or like finalize the variable, like whatever the value, right? Inside this a variable, it is now constant or unchangeable, unmodifiable. Okay. Now, because we use this final keyword, we cannot change this value, right? String value. We can modify this. It is constant. Who is this? Hello, Srirang. You are mute yourself. You are disturbing the whole session. Okay. So now if I want to update this a string, right? So it will give an error. Okay, next line. Say, so if I next line, if I want to update this string, right? I want to update the string, whatever here. So say a equals to, and now I want to update the string. Say hello, save it. And here it is generating some error. What is this error? If you see, the final local variable cannot be assigned. It must be blank or not used in compound assignment. Right. So it is saying you cannot write update the thing. Okay. Because of this final keyword. Okay. If I remove this final keyword, it is all good. Okay. Now if I save and run the variable class, so it will simply give me the hello instead of hi all. First, you have to understand how it is actually. So whenever the code get executed, right? So first it comes from top to, it will check, right? There is a variable and it having a high all value, right? And in next line, it is updating to hello. So it is reading up to bottom, okay, inside the main method. So whatever you are updating in last, right? So it will take the last one. Okay. So it will take the last one, last updated one. Okay. So now it will check, right? First it having the value of a high all, and next it is updated to hello, and after that it is updated to hello world. So if I run the code right now, it will give me the last update. Okay. Everyone understood? So this is the like final, okay, final keyword which makes a variable constant or not modifiable, or not like you cannot update the variable. If I give the final keyword before declaring the variable, right? So it will give like error whenever I'm going to update. Okay. So now let's say we will say like this is constant. Okay. uh, Constant. Okay. So basically, cannot be changed. We cannot. Okay. So basically, what is constant? Basically, in Java, we can use this final keyword, right? To declare constant. In which are the variable, those values cannot be changed once again. Like whenever we declaring a variable, right? So here, once I declare a variable and it having some value, and if we mention that like variable as final, right? If I declare that variable as final, we cannot simply like once we give the value, we cannot modify or change the value, right? So basically it makes the variable constant. It cannot be changed or updated. Okay.
Gifted.
Next, let's come to next. This is variable error. Uh, Next, say we have a class, and there we will see our data types. Okay. And if you want to run that file, right? If you want to execute, you need a main method. Okay. Data type, right? So first, let's see what are the data types we have. We have two type of data. One is primitive data type and another is non-primitive data type. Okay. So in primitive data type, let's say Java data types. Okay. So in Java, in Java, there are several built-in data types that are used, like that can be used to declare variable. Okay. So let's say in Java, there are several built-in data type. Okay. Okay. So there we have two types of data like there are two data types. Okay. So first is primitive data type. So basically like in primitive data type, right? So in primitive data type, we have eight primitive data type. Okay. Say Java data type, say number one. Have So we have eight primitive data type. What are eight primitive data type? So there is byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, and character. These are the eight primitive data type we actually use. Okay. If you see, right, in main method, everyone having question like static void main, right? We will discuss this thing. Okay, discuss this keyword, why we use this in main method, and what is the difference between public static and void, right? So basically like this main method which returns nothing, which returns void. Okay, so if I hover this cursor to void, it will say return type of main, like main method having some return type. So this is the void return type, like null. It is returning nothing. So so we can give some return type, like any types we can return type, like we can give any primitive type data type we can give here. Okay. So if I want to return some integer, we can, instead of void, we can just simply like give the int or float, whatever the method you want to have written. Okay. So if you see, right, instead of void, it can be used for primitive data type. We can assign some primitive data type that will return that data type. Okay. We will see that in method creating or function creation, right? Okay. So eight primitive data type. So first comes like lowest to highest. Okay. Like byte is the lowest data type, like which represent like 8-bit integer. Okay. So say byte. Okay. So basically it represent signed 8-bit integer, and it can store negative 128 to 127, positive 127. Okay. So, and it can store up to say negative 128 to 127. It can store up to this value. Okay. So let's check if I like I like if I give the 4 digit, it is giving me error, right? So as you can see, right, byte can only have negative 128 to 127. It is in between the 3 digit. So if I gave like up to 4 digit, it is giving me error. Even if I remove the one, it will give me error. Okay. Because it will take up to 127. So if I give, even if I give 128, it will give me error. Now if I give 127, now it is take 127. Okay. So byte, it is a lowest data type. It can store only up to 3 digit. Okay. That is negative 127 to like 128, negative 128 to 127. Okay. Next, after byte, what we have short. Short. So basically this short data type represent a 16-bit integer. Okay. And that up to store up to 5 digit value. Okay. Say uh, in there. And it can store up to negative 32,768. I think the entire uh, 708 up to 32,767. Okay. 68,768 to 767. Yes. So this is the range of short. Okay. If I say declare a short is equals to, so it will give me error. Okay. Now if I remove, because it is not giving me error because it is under 32,000, right? It is around 12,000. If I exceed the limit, okay, which I gave, 32, 7, 6, 7 was there, I am giving 8. Okay, so now I am exceeding the limit. Okay, so it can take up to 32,767, right? Okay, now after short, what we have? We have integer. Now we have integer. Okay, sorry, uh, say int. Okay, and basically it represent our 32-bit integer. Okay, and it store up to it store up to 10 digit. I think 10, yeah, 10 digit. It is very long. At negative 147. Oh, and it should be 7. Okay, up to 647. 647. Right. Yeah. Now let's check. Integer, it can store up to that. So how many digits are there? Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 digits. So let's say integer C. And remember one thing, you cannot declare same variable repeatedly. Okay. We cannot have same variable name twice. Okay. We cannot have a twice. Okay. So let's say we'll check. Uh, I'm going to copy the string value and let's say, so it is good, right? Now, if I gave, so, okay, it is good to 7. If I add another digit, say 7, 7, it will generate an error. Okay. And if even if I say 48 also, sorry, 48, it will still giving me an error. It is like exceeding the range. Okay. Now after that we have long. So basically long. Okay. So basically if you comes to long, it is like after integer and it having the range of, right, range between I think around that is I think 20. I think 20, yeah, maybe 20. Okay. So instead of using byte and short, we can use only int. Yes, yes, we can only use int because it is very reliable and you can say using int like we can use this long in some like where we actually required in some product ID or any kind of ID that require very long length, right? And in general case, like we don't need this long for like we have work with integer. Most of the cases, integer like it is okay with this range. Okay, like ID. So it is like if you actually storing the client, right? So if you think like how many client like this is very huge, right? So we use integer in normal production. When it comes to any marketplace application or any retail shop application, there we use long because we need ID of the product and all. Okay, and that can be exceed this int value. Okay, who is asking? Radhika, I think. Yeah. So these are the basic thing like you can like use any data type as per your project require. Okay. Next we have long. Uh, let's say, and I think I think it is having 19 digit up to 19 digit. Negative and double two double three 720. So this is the range. Okay. So this is the range of long. So if you see it having like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So it having 19 digit. Okay. Yeah, it's having 64 bit also. Okay. Yeah, correct. So now let's check if I exceed this value, is it giving me error or not? So I what happened here? So basically, if you see, I think yes, maybe I'm missing something. Yeah. So basically, if you see this L, right? So this is the syntax of like long. Okay. Whenever we are using and this thing, right? L. This is for long. This is denoting like it is actually denoting the long variable. Okay. And specifically like this used in for long only, and you will see this thing in float also. Okay, when we declare float value, we need to give f at the end of our value. Okay, that makes this float. Okay, if I give 7 7, yes, it will give me an error. It will exceeding the range. Okay, so remember this syntax. So for long, we need to specify the capital L at the end of the value. Okay. And same way, if I work with float, right? So float that actually that we know, right? It is actually give the decimal value, right? So in float, E equals to, so basically like so float basically it is also like 32 bit, it represent the 32 bit, and it having the floating point, and in float I think something range. So in float after decimal there's some range. Okay, for float I think after decimal we can print up to 5 digit or 6 digit. Okay, we will see. Okay, so there's some limit or range you can say, and in case of double it is higher. Okay, so let's say uh, float I I will give 35.9999. Okay. So it is giving me error. Why? So I need to give the syntax of f, okay, small f, that makes to denote this e variable which is float, okay. And say if I give another 9, 9, 9, 9, it is taking, okay, it is taking. So in double it should, some range should be there, I think. Okay, no range. Float double f. And for double, we don't need to give any syntax. There is no need of giving any syntax. Okay. If I get 3, 5, 4, no issue. So let's say float. Okay. So basically, it is not giving the error. It can take. Okay. Because like float is a 32-bit floating point, right? And double is 64-bit. Okay. And it don't having any range. Okay. So it can be infinite. Okay. Okay. So let's say float. So like after like releasing Java 10, they introduce something new, data type. I will discuss that to you, which is like you can say uh, so so basically like, have you heard of var data type? Anyone? Inferred data type, which is like type inferred, the type of that data data type that is inferred, like we can assign any value that will detect by its own, automatically that detect. Okay, we will discuss that thing. Okay, so basically, so it represent 32-bit. Okay, and represent 64-bit. And 32-bit floating point. So it will state the value in two state, right? So which is true and false. Otherwise, it is true or it will be false. Okay. And which is 16 bit. So why it is Unicode value? Because if you see, right, so if you convert this character to any like integer, right? If anyone convert this character data type to integer, so it will convert this character, but it will give the ASCII value of that character. Okay. So next, what we have? So next we have non-primitive data type. Okay. And you can say like mm, and now comes to non-primitive data type. We have in non-primitive data type we have string and array. Okay. So say we have there is primitive data type and non-primitive data type. So in non-primitive data type we have string and array. So basically string represent a sequence of character. Okay. So it represent a sequence of character. And array basically it represent a collection of elements of the same data type. Okay. So say array is character and array represent a collection. So, so in case of array, whatever the value, right? We don't say as value, we say that those are the elements. Okay. Instead of saying value, okay. So if I say like array, if I declare an array after assignment operator, I give some values, right? So in case of arrays, those values are known as elements. You need to say those are the elements. Okay. So elements of the same data type, same data type. Now let's see what are the non-primitive data types. So these are the and what is this? this is comment. Like, so basically, these are the Java comments. You can say these are the Java comments. So in Java, comments are used to add X. Basically, it is like explanatory, explanatory or descriptive text, right? Descriptive, where we actually describe our code. Descriptive text within the code. Okay, we use, and if we, and this thing, right? This double forward slash, it is used for like single line comment. Okay, and they are they are basically this comment. This comment basically actually these are ignored by the compiler and do not affect the execution process. Okay, so compiler actually Java compiler, they compiler actually going for the code. Okay, whatever the code, and inside this comment, right? This is the syntax to give the descriptive description or any explanation of your code. Okay, so say primitive data type. Uh, That the primitive data type. And uh, non here I non-primitive data type. Okay. So in non-primitive data type, we have string say my string equals to some string. Okay. And other in other hand, what we have? So first we have string and then array. Now, how we declare array? So to declare an array, you need to like after, so say in integer my array, right? Variable name, and now I have to give some values, right? So what makes this an array? How we know like this variable is an array? So to make this an array, what we need to do after data type? After data type, we have to mention these square braces. Okay. So this square braces that makes this variable an array. And now we cannot give a normal data like this. So we need to give the element. So what is the syntax of inserting value or element? So there's some syntax. Okay, we need to give the value or element inside the curly braces here, inside the curly braces. And this whole thing makes an array. Okay, everyone got this? So to make an variable array, you need to give square braces after data type. Okay, so this is single dimensional array. Okay, and if you give like another braces, sorry, another square bracket, right? After this, you give another square bracket that makes an two-dimensional array. Okay. You can say three-dimensional array. How many square braces you are giving that makes a dimension? Okay. So we will discuss this later. Okay, first you need to understand how we declare an array. So this is the method of declaring an array. Okay, first data type. Okay, after that you need to mention the square brace, square bracket. Okay, after that variable name, then you have to give the curly braces to give the element inside this curly braces. Okay, now we can give the element. Okay, one, two, three, 4, 5, and what we know, right? So this will, so basically it will represent the collection of elements of the same data type. So what is this? So data type is integer. So it having the collection of data that are in same data type, which is integer, right? So it is a collection of array. Okay. So everyone understood, right? What is an array and how we declare an array. Okay. Okay. Now after data type, right? So after data type, what we have, we need to know how we convert this data, right? So we already know what are the data types that are already like present in the Java, right? JDK. So these are the inbuilt data types. And now, if I want to convert the smaller data type to higher data type or higher data type to smaller data type, if I want to convert those things, so for that, what I need know and what I need to do. So first of all, we need to know what is like say what is what you say like typecasting. So conversion of data we know as typecasting. Okay, like these are the data type, and we are going to cast in different types. Okay, we say Java typecastings. So in Java typecasting, right? So here also we have two type of casting. Okay. So one is like explicit casting and implicit casting. Okay, there are two types. One is implicit casting, which is widening casting, or you can say automatic casting. Okay, and there is explicit casting or narrowing casting, or you can say manual casting. Okay, so in Java typecasting, number one we have implicit casting. So I will say implicit slash widening slash automatic castings. So these are the three names that is like you will understand by hearing those three keywords: implicit, widening, and automatic. So these three keywords are the same thing. Okay.
लक्षात नसेलच ना ताडवा ताडवा तर किती होतं रे कमी दिलं गाडी 17-18
And what we have next? We have explicit. Okay, we have explicit, narrowing, and manual casting. Okay. Explicit, narrowing, and say manual casting. Okay. So in automatic casting, right, that we know in widening or implicit casting. So in automatic casting, it is basically like automatic casting that occurs when we actually convert a smaller data type to a larger data type. Okay. Like we are converting smaller data type to larger data type, that makes a automatic casting. Okay, which is implicit casting. Okay, so implicit casting occurs when we convert a smaller data type to a larger data type, right? So occurs when we Okay. And now let's say how it actually goes, right? First, byte, byte to like
हाँ,
byte
दिले
converting.
होतं ना.
Yes, anyone saying anything?
ऑफर नाही गेलो. हलका कमी आहे.
Okay.
60, 70, 50, 60, 40 कमी आहे. 60, 60, 50, 40
Thought
सगळं सगळं लागायला. मी लागाय ना पेरलं तर. पतलं पेरायला पाहिजे.
after
हा,
after that integer
शेंगा भरलेल्या आहे चांगल्या.
log
हे याचं आहे ना, पुढचं आहे ना. आता याची जन्मिनेशन कमी झाली.
float
नाही नाही फुले इकडे येते गावकर घरी गेले तिकडे
double.
असते. 90,
Okay.
100
So this is the implicit casting.
वरती
So
जाऊन
it
वरती.
is converting smaller data type to larger
हा,
data type.
हा,
The same like opposite is explicit. It
हा,
is
म्हणजे
like
आता पुन्हा
converting
वरतीच
from
पेरलेलं आहे आणि
larger
वरतं
data type,
आधी
larger data type to smaller data type. Please everyone give the attendance. Okay. So same things like for explicit. So explicit casting is required when we convert a larger data type to smaller data type. Okay. So okay. Okay. So now let's see the example how we actually convert this. Okay. Let's say okay, come create a new class. Name the class as like say what you say what is okay. Create a class name. First we will see like what is widening casting, which is implicit. Okay. Then name it implicit casting. Okay, and remember, like while creating a Java class, right? You have to like give the first letter as a capital or uppercase. Okay, you need to give the first letter as an uppercase. So implicit casting. Okay, here what we are going to do, we are going to convert, right? So let's say we are going smaller data type to larger data type. Suppose I am taking integer a equals to some 99. Okay. And in next line, I'm going to convert this integer into double. Okay. Double b equals to, and here what I need to do. So as we know, right? So simply I'm going to pass our a variable that is integer, right? A is integer and having some integer value. And now I'm passing that integer a to our v variable, which is double. The data type is double, right? Now, if I print this, right? If I print this b, okay, so let's say a and b. We are printing a and b. Okay, so let's run. So here, if you see 99, it is an integer value, right? And next, what we have b, which is 99.0, that convert this value into double, right? So this is doing the conversion. The conversion has done automatically. How is how we understand like this is done automatically because there is no need of giving mentioning we are going to do the double. We are just simply passing the value variable a as a value of b. Okay, we just simply passing the variable a as a value of b, and that makes the conversion. Okay, in case of explicit casting, there is you see, right? So it is doing automatic casting, but in case of explicit, it need to done manually. So we say like manual casting. So it will not, right? When we are converting larger data type to smaller data type, we need to mention the smaller data type. Otherwise, it will not convert like automatically. Like we need to give the manual data type. Okay, short like smaller data type. So how it will do? So let's create a class. Say explicit explicit casting, right? It having main method. And now say I am going to convert double data type to integer data type. Okay, double A equals to some decimal point 12.22. Sorry, what happened? 12.22. And now I'm going to convert this 12.22 into integer, right? So int b equals to, now what we have done previously in implicit, we are just passing the value of we are passing the a, right? The a variable as a value. Now we are going to pass same way. Okay, but here it will show me an error, right? So why it will show me error? Because it will ask me like to do the manual configuration. You say manual configuration. So what is the manual configuration? I have to mention this a as to convert it as integer. So how we will do that? We need to mention the data type in front of a, like before a. We need to mention the data type within the braces. Okay, this is okay. Now you need to mention the data type, the like what data type you want to convert this a. It is the a is in double, right? The data type is double, but I want to convert this a data type into integer. So now I want to mention this, I want this an integer, say int. Okay, now we are manually configure this a to integer because it is higher than int, right? Double. So we are doing the converting the higher data type to smaller data type. So in that case, we need to mention the smaller data type, okay, that we are going to convert. Now, okay, here I'm passing a and here I pass b. Say, okay. So now it is converting my double to integer. It is removing the decimal. Okay. So everyone understood how we convert, like what is typecasting? Anyone having any doubt related to typecasting? So that's all for today, guys. And thank you for attending the session.
Sir, is there tomorrow any session, sir?
Uh, Tomorrow,